Alongside Katie Wyndham, I am Austin Hannon, and this is Bama Central's Just a Minute. Katie, we're here into week 4, Alabama game week against Ole Miss. Earlier on Monday afternoon, Nick Saban came into the press conference and announced that Jalen Milroe would be the starter again this weekend against the Rebels. And so the talking has begun between Lane Kiffin and Nick Saban this week, obviously all building up to Saturday. Based on what we saw last weekend down in Tampa, which wasn't pretty, you had Tyler Buchner, you had Ty Simpson playing. And so now there's a lot of questions circling around the quarterback competition yet again that hasn't yet been decided. It seems like now that maybe it's been decided, we're trying to kind of piece together what exactly happened down in Tampa last week, what maybe happened before the game against USF that led to Jalen Milroe not being on the field for a single snap. Obviously, there was a couple cool moments there later in the game with Milroe congratulating Simpson on the 2 scoring drives, and Saban said he was proud to see that. And now that Milroe's back into the starting job, maybe we're trying to make sense of everything that's going on. And so I want to know what your thoughts are on the whole situation now that we've reached week 4.
Yeah, it's certainly, look, this was the talk of the offseason. Who will be Alabama's starter at quarterback? And Saban said over and over, whoever starts week 1 is not necessarily the starter. But then Jalen started week 1, did well. Alabama brings him up for media week 2. He starts against Texas, does some good things, has 2 costly interceptions. And that certainly hurt Alabama. I don't think you can point to it as the thing that lost the game, because he also led Alabama on some scoring drives and was able to move the ball some, but didn't do the things you need to do as a quarterback to necessarily have winning football, hence Alabama losing that game. And then, there's stirrings of Tyler Buchner starting against USF. He gets the start, like we all saw, wasn't great. Ty Simpson comes in before halftime. Alabama was able to move the ball a little bit better. And he kind of got in a rhythm at the end, but his performance wasn't necessarily great either. And like you said, we didn't see Milroe at all. And so and Saban, we were kind of joking before the press conference started in the media room, about Saban announcing the quarterback at the beginning of the week and how that would never happen. And that's literally what he got up there and did in his opening statement. And so, if he's going off what he said in the post game after the USF game about we're going to evaluate the play of the 3 guys and then we'll figure out who it is. And he said on Monday that Jalen Milroe, when they looked at the 3 guys, has played the best. And I think you could definitely argue that that's the case. He has the best stats. He's been able to help the team move the ball the most effectively, scored the most points. He does have the only interception so far, but he's also obviously been out there for more time than the other guys and against a higher level of competition. And so, but then it just makes it even more confusing why, if he's the guy you think gives this team the best chance to win, why he didn't play on Saturday against USF. But also in the postgame and leading up to the game on Saturday, Saban said that they played the quarterbacks who practiced the best that week. So it may have been something that happened in practice that that was the reason why Milroe didn't play. But Saban, the staff, after looking at the film and the way that Jalen responded on Saturday and encouraging and supporting his teammates instead of having his head down, was enough for Saban to have confidence in naming him as the starter moving forward. Now, will that mean that he's the start of the rest of the season? That's what we'll have to see. But Austin, what do you think? Do you think that this means that he's got the job the rest of the way, barring disaster or injury?
I just think the whole situation's weird, and you see fans on Saturday, which everybody was freaking out, obviously, on social media on Saturday with the way that things were going, and we were sitting there in Tampa talking like, well, at some point in this game, it's 3-3. Nothing's really happening. Like, are they really going to just let Milroe sit or stand on the sideline the whole game and lose this game just to prove a point based off maybe something that happened? And of course, Simpson was able to get a couple touchdowns in there, and USF was unable to score any points really, except for that field goal off the Kool-Aid McKinstry fumble. But then you've got fans saying maybe there's issues with personalities, and maybe the offensive players don't like playing for anybody other than Jalen Milroe, and they don't like the fact that Jalen Milroe was benched, and that's why things were going so poorly when Buchner and Simpson were in the game. And so, is there any truth to that? We don't really know.
Saban says he's seen togetherness with this team, and he really likes them. So you think?
So there's just so many, everything's swirling, and nothing's going well right now for this program. And it's really not at a good time because they've got such a tough schedule coming up. Beginning with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss this week, who would like nothing better. Especially Pete Golding and Lane Kiffin to come into Tuscaloosa and win. So they've got their hands full with an Ole Miss offense. The defense made strides, so that's promising. But there's so many question marks on the offensive end at really every position right now, maybe other than, Jason McClellan and Roydell Williams, who looked really good on Saturday. And so, can they score enough points to beat Ole Miss on Saturday? That's the question. They couldn't do that against Texas. So will anything be different on Saturday? I don't know. Me and Katie Wyndham will be there on Saturday, and there's still a lot of build up to come. We'll obviously talk to players on Tuesday, which you're watching this on Tuesday. And of course, Saban will speak one more time on Wednesday night before the game. But this won't be the end of the fireworks this week, I'm sure, as Lane Kiffin and the Rebels come to town on Saturday for a 2:30 kick on CBS. So for Katie Wyndham, I am Austin Hannon. This has been Bama Central's Just a Minute. Thanks so much for watching.